I met a gypsy.
I would film a lot more in the hills if it wasn't for like how stressful it is getting camera people back there and stuff, and like just worrying about cops at the entrance, and like
Yeah.
it sucks, man.
Well, so what's the deal? Like, if you guys get pulled over there, like, what's the fine? What's the
They'll take your bike.
no shit?
Yeah, it's expensive tickets, and they'll take your bike. They're not scared. I've never really like got caught. Really, I mean, like maybe I've been caught like twice, which is as long as you don't like have too many strikes. They like they have your license and stuff. They have every license I've ever had, and they've caught me enough times. But luckily, I was from North Carolina, so I had like an out-of-state license the first few times until they got wise to that. Now I'm California, so I'm kind of screwed. But dude, yeah, one time the dude came up to me hot, like I mean, everything short of pulling his gun was like yelling at me to like get down and shit. I was just by myself, like I was just a truck parked out in the middle of nowhere. Like, dude, there was one time I was dropping into Beaumont and I was renting a dude's van because I didn't live in North Carolina or live in California yet.
This speaks trouble.
This is gonna be nuts. So I drive to Beaumont and it's raining and I'm just there to shovel because I think I was filming like maybe my first Fast House part like 5 years ago or something. So I went out to Beaumont by myself in the rain. I'm wearing like shorts and a t-shirt. I wasn't expecting it to really rain. I pull into what our old parking spot was, which was like, you remember on Durham's old video MIA, like that big step up jump? It's like kind of right by there. But I pull in, I go down this like kind of gnarly hill, and since it started raining, it was real slick. So I start sliding, and I'm just like going down like a pretty steep hill that turns right at the bottom, sliding like last second, caught a little traction, barely didn't go off like a cliff. And then I end up in like a puddle. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to get up that way. I don't even know if I can go down that way. By myself, 2-wheel drive van. So then...
Not yours.
Not mine. I was renting it from a buddy. And he doesn't know.
He doesn't know about this story at all.
But then, so then I start going from like, all right, I guess I'm not really building jumps. I guess my whole day now, driving 45 minutes out here and whatever, is just going to be trying to get back out. So I start like trying to find like driftwood to like build like a little bridge across a pond. And then I hear someone like pull up and like I hear talking. So I literally crawl up this mountainside and I'm like behind a bush and I can see these dudes. It's like this old dude and like someone that like looks like he like kind of works for him. And they're like, hey, whose van is that? Like kind of talking. I'm like, oh fuck, like this is so not good. So then they leave, I run back down, I build my little, or no, actually that's not true. They leave, I think I'm probably fine. I had my little exit route kind of made. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go and shovel that jump. It was the same one that Darren was hitting, that big steep one. And like, you know, I'm just going to go shovel it. I'm here, whatever. So I'm walking. Don't even have a bike. No gear on, nothing. Just a shovel, and I'm walking down the road. And this dude just pulls up in a Jeep, comes up all hot. I'm just like thinking he's just going to tell me to leave. Who the fuck are you, whatever. Shotgun, 2-barrel in my face. Like, what are you doing here? Like, he's like, my name's Mike, whatever. I own from here to Alessandro. I paid $5.5 million for this property. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, I'm shoveling a jump for a dirt bike, dude. Like, he's like, well, you need to tell everyone to stop coming. I'm like, I'm going to tell everyone? Do you know where you bought property, dude? Like, this is not going to stop. Like, I mean, I told him that. Like, I wasn't like, obviously I was trying not to get shot, but I was just like, dude, like, I don't know what to tell you. This is like a really famous place. Like, you're not going to not have this happen. He's like, whatever, just get out of here, whatever. So I'm like, all right, go back to my car. I'm in the van. I'm just wide open, just pounding through the mud. Like, get me out of here. So I ended up dipping out, and I remember like calling, like, dude, I just got a gun pointed at my face in Beaumont. We're not parking there anymore.
Dude, that's fucking gnarly.
Yeah, so you never know. Like, and like Retchie, I've passed like homeowners that like they're just like holding the gun. Like, they'll fire some off in the sky too. Like, you just not even like cops are scary, but you just never know what you're gonna get out there, dude. Sometimes there's like tweakers living in RVs, like in little crevices you pull up to. Like, it's just the squirrely. It's the Wild West out there,
dude. That's fucking gnarly.
Yeah.
So he bought the land, or
dude,
allegedly.
He didn't buy
Allegedly.
He told me he bought to like Alessandro, which would mean he owns like, there's just no way. He's full of crap. But also I remember going back and he put up a bunch of like dirt barriers to a bunch of the fire roads. So like, you can't do that. Like, so now that there's a fire, people can't, yeah, whatever. Don't even get me. There's, and like, dude, I always pick up trash. I always bring a trash bag every time I go to the hills. At the end of the day, go pick up some trash. Like, we're not trying to hurt it, but then you see a bunch of people bringing tons of trash and tires and all this crap. And you know, like, we'll call them out. Like, what are you doing? Like, oh no, like, get out of here, dude. Like, yeah, it's a nightmare.
It's a bummer that those places are so hard to deal with when it comes to riding,
especially filming. once getting a crew out there is tough. Me just by myself isn't too bad. I just rip in.
Yeah.
Especially there's some places where we kind of like have people that have property and you can ride from them. The Stark makes that a little more difficult. I don't have the range.
Yeah.
So it's a little harder for me. But there's places where we can park and we just ride in, which they're not going to ever catch you on a bike, really. I mean, I've heard Ty Davis is like a cop out there. You remember Ty Davis, old off-road dude?
Nah.
He's like a ranger.
Oh, he's catching me for sure.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
He's probably catching me, too.
Yeah, I get away from him.
At least I got the electric, so I'll disappear.
Yeah, you can just like zip into a corner and just like hide out.
It's not too, like a lot of times you'll go and you won't have any problems. It just sucks when you do.
It just sucks that one of the most famous riding spots of all time, you just kind of can't ride there.
That's kind of what makes it cool.
Yeah, that's probably. But I guess that's everything, right? Like you can't skate in the places that are.
Yeah, like go to Hollywood High, like you're breaking in. It's the same deal. That's what's so sick about free riding. It's like so much like skateboarding. I think like that whole side of it. Like going and building a jump is hard. You got to deal with cops. Like that's why no one does it. Like it's a nightmare to go and start shoveling a lip is a full day.
Yeah,
and you're risking a lot. Like. Nah, I mean, it's not like that. It's not fucking life or death or anything, but I mean, it sucks to get a ticket. You don't want to deal with that. You know?
Yeah, it's just, it's more shit.
And they could take your bike too. You know, you never know. They could make it pretty hard on you if they wanted to, I'm sure.
What's the worst story of the cops you've heard out there?
I mean, I've heard of people getting bikes, like a lot of bikes.
So you have heard of people getting bikes?
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Fuck.
It happens.
You're going to be the biggest dickhead of a cop, right?
Yeah, I think so too. And I have heard stories where they thought it was going to be fine. The guy was a dick, and then they took this bike, so. They're really, every time I've seen a cop out there, besides the one was like kind of aggressive, but he still just let me go. He was like watching me. He even told me, he's like, yeah, I was watching you ride over there. Like, I'm like whatever. Like after first he was super rude. Then, they're usually pretty cool, but yeah, I've definitely heard stories of like, 10, 15 bikes being impounded and like, Joe Carlino?
Yeah.
Filmer. He was like, I've had him come out and film with me like 3 times on Beaumont. Every time he's so nervous because the time before, he like all of his buddies came back and they were just waiting for him at the trucks.
Oh.
That sucks. I always get worried when I ride back to the truck. I'm just like, I come over the hill, I'm like, I really hope there's not a bunch of cops sitting down there. But they like all their buddies got like $500 tickets and stuff.
That's what like you look at Raha and some of the stuff that he does.
He goes for it.
He's fucking gnarly, bro.
I don't like cops and I don't like riding on the street. I don't like attention. I don't like people looking at me. Like I want nothing to do with that stuff.
He goes hard.
He doesn't care. Yeah. He's always doing something too. He's always traveling, just making it happen.
Yeah. He's a fucking savage when it comes to that shit. Yeah, I've been in too much trouble already. I gotta fucking.
I've never really been in trouble. I don't really plan on it.
No, it's not the move.
No.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.